Hello! I can't actually believe how long it's been since my last video. I had to have a look back and I realised it was Easter Day and it's actually November now, so I'm sorry it's took so long. I've had to watch my old video back to see what I promised I'd show you, and I think the only thing I'd promised to show you, and this seems a bit crazy now because it's November, was the basket of bunnies, the Mandy Shaw. So I think I'd showed you the bunnies. I don't know if I'd made the eggs or not, but I basically made the bunnies, I made the eggs and I made the basket, and I've got them to show you. So here they are. This was an Easter project I did for this year, so that's that. That was a lot of fun to make, so just pop that aside. And I've had to actually look back at what I've made since then. So okay, where do I start? I'm in this like lampshade club, and I've only made one so far, but they're just there as and when I want to do them, and I just couldn't resist doing the autumn one. So here's the autumn one that I did. That's the back. You see there's pumpkins, a blackbird, and I've had like hand stitched some little vines and the word autumn, put some bias binding, and that looks, and actually this is a really nice light. Actually I've got a lamp in my bedroom, but it's really quite bright, so if I want a more you know, sort of, you know, just a nice dim light, this is perfect. So I've been enjoying having that. I didn't know where I was going to have it, but it's just I've ended up liking having it in my bedroom. Right, I don't know if I've ever shown you a birthday banner I made years ago. I think I made it, oh gosh, when do you know, I'm guessing when one of my children was 7 and my youngest is 12, but it definitely wasn't when he was 7. But I made it a long time ago, and here it is. And it's all felt, and this is very thick wool felt. And what I do is, when it's my children's birthday, I just make the appropriate age. So the old, since I've last seen you, I've made a 16, and actually even though my 16-year-old turned 15, obviously the birthday before, I hadn't done him a 15, but I think we was in Cornwall for his birthday, so, and I often do these last minute, so hadn't done a 15, but my middle son is going to be 15 this month, so I've made that, and I enjoy getting that out. It's not the only birthday banner I've got now. I've got another one where you can change it to men and ladies and things, so but yeah, I'm really pleased with that. It's like a bit of a fair family heirloom. I think because the youngest age I've done is 7, I suppose when I have grandchildren, I'll probably start making the age 1 and 2, etc. We've had Halloween. I did make a hairband witch's hat out of felt. I put all like Halloween themed ribbons and things, but because Halloween's over now, I've obviously put it away. But what I had put away, but I've managed to get out quite easy because it was in my wardrobe. And one thing I've actually still been wearing, I had fabric left over from another year Halloween, so I couldn't resist wearing a scrunchie, and I've actually found these so comfortable. Even though like Halloween's over, I've still been wearing it, and I think it's quite gentle on your hair. Do you know, some elastics, they you know, they can sort of pull your hair out, so I think I'm going to need to make some more scrunchies, non-Halloween themed, and it was quite nice actually, because when I was a little girl, my mum used to make scrunchies for me, and when they went out of fashion, I haven't wore one since, so it's been quite nice having a scrunchie again. What else have I got? Oh yes, if you've been following me on my social media, I think it's changed it. I'm Claire who makes things now with, I think, underscores in between. I'll confirm that next time. I'm sorry, I keep changing it all the time. It's because what it is, John Scott on TV, he always calls me Claire who makes things, which I was Claire who makes things, but then I've been Claire who makes stuff, Claire who makes, and because he kept saying Claire who makes things, I've changed it back to Claire who makes things, and I've tried to change my Facebook page that's Periwinkle Cottage Crafts, and I know it's been that for a long time, but I've tried to change that to Claire Who Makes Things, but Facebook say I can't. It doesn't explain anything about myself or something or other. So I've tried to do it again, and I can't even get the option now. I don't know if I've just took it off. You're not changing your name. So okay then. So if you've been following me on those anyway. I've made a toile. If you don't know what a toile is, it's basically when you make a pattern clothing. I think it's just for clothing, and you're just basically making it just to get the fit. Then you get that to fit yourself. What was that? I don't know what that was. You get that to fit yourself, and then when you're happy with that, you've got that all to your size, you take it all apart, and then you've got your pattern for your final outfit. So I did that with some really old fabric. I didn't know how old it is. Somebody gave it to me, and I was never going to use it for anything, even though I'm quite kind of old-fashioned in a lot of my styles and things. It was just too old-fashioned for me really to want to make anything with it. I would kind of make like a memory thing with it, but not clothing or cushions in my home. And apparently when I put this toile up, this fabric, I'll show it, actually I've got a piece of it here, is about 30 years old or more, because they had somebody told me there was a settee and curtains in it, and apparently it was meant to be an old country style then. So I made my toile up in that, and I am going to do some crafts with it to make, well basically it was just the timing. I wasn't intending to start with to make a Halloween dress, but the timing that I made the toile, Halloween was coming, so I thought I'll make a Halloween dress. So I did start with a pattern originally, but I changed it so much. There's no point even telling the pattern, because it's nothing like the pattern. I ended up doing my own skirt. I changed the shape, and it's probably the only thing is the same as the neck shape. So there's no point even telling you it's a certain pattern, because it's basically something I've just fitted myself. And if you might have seen it if you're following me on social media, but here it is. So that's the top. I did. See, it looks strange because it's like fitted for a bust, you know, because it's non-stretch fabric, and I've put like some big box pleats in at the bottom, and that's the back, 2 box pleats at the back, and I've got all darts here, and the same in the front. I've got a couple of darts at the bottom and 2 bust darts. And that's and it's a concealed dip, but I went for a black one because I didn't mind if it showed through with it being Halloween. And if I try and show you the fabric close up, it's Riley Blake, and it's glow in the dark fabric, and it's got Happy Halloween and little cats and pumpkins and things. And I actually wore that to Warwick Castle on Halloween, and I had a black netted underskirt under it as well. And you know, I felt really good actually. I felt really girly because I'm a bit of a jumper, t-shirt, jeans and shorts kind of girl. So it felt really nice to get a dress on. So I've got that to show you. I'm just thinking what else. Oh, in the summer, because you'll notice I'm quite seasonal. Things that inspire me a lot of the time are seasonal makes. And in the summer, this probably looks a little bit battered now. I made this bag, so it was a bit of a seaside theme, you know, with stripy handles, whales on it. It's just a big slouchy bag with a spotty line, and that pattern is Owl and the Sewing Cat, and I make loads of bags, and quite a few of them are Owl and the Sewing Cat patterns. Absolutely love that. Fit loads in it, you know, from my sunglasses case and my rain mac and things. I can fit lots in. And my most recent make, it's what I finished yesterday, and it's an advent calendar for my middle son. I made advent calendars for my eldest and my youngest to go on the inside of the bedroom doors, and that was when they'd had their, well, my eldest son hadn't had a newly decorated room, but his was done first. So I did his first, and then my youngest son had his new room, so I done one for him. And then my middle son, he hadn't had his room redone yet, but he was using a handmade one of mine that I hang up in the hall. It's like a little garland of stockings. He was using that, so I wanted to make him one. Now he's had his bedroom done, for the back of his door, and the garland one I'll probably going to use for my husband, unless I buy him a hotel chocolate one. We used to have a couple's hotel chocolate one, but what I find is now, if I have the advent chocolate every day leading up to Christmas, by the time I get to Christmas I'm just out of control. I can't stop eating chocolate. So last year, for a change, I had a craft one, and that's what I'm doing this year. I'm going to have a craft one. So anyway, not saying I'm not going to eat bad things, I will, but just having that really more rich hotel chocolate every day, it just wasn't enough. Just wanted more every day. So anyway, this is the calendar for my middle son, and even though I'm quite traditional with Christmas colours and things, and this isn't traditional, because even though you've got like your red and gold, there's no green at all in it. There's greys and light blues, but you know what? I absolutely love it. And actually, you can fit more in the pockets of these than the ones I've made for my other boys, because they're actually boxed pleat, like my skirt on my dress. They actually have got quite a lot of room, so I'm going to start collecting things now to go inside that. And the only thing I probably would have done differently is, when I put bindings on quilts, I hand stitch them down at the back, so you don't have any visible stitching. But I have done a line of stitching on this one, and that was because I got a bit fancy and I did quilted tabs, but because they're so bulky, I don't think my hand stitching would have been strong enough, because you have to kind of bring them up, would have been strong enough to hold them up. So I just decided I'd lift them up and then do a line of stitching, and then I just decided to take that all the way around. So I haven't bothered hand stitching my binding on this time, but at least I know it's nice and secure, and it's, you know, it's going to last years, and even if anything does come underneath you sew, you can just fix it, can't you? So that's that. Another thing I've been doing is, if you follow me on social media, you'll have seen that I made a poly rag doll, and I do love making toys and dolls. And actually, when I used to sew when I was a little girl, like, my sewing skills were really poor. You know, probably all my dolls look like me, like Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'd draw around them, and they'd be very boxy, and the sewing would be very poor, and the sewing would come undone, and you know, and I'd sew things inside out. But obviously, I'm a lot better now. And anyway, there's different patterns to make clothes for Polly. And I've made her a couple of new things. So she's wearing one of them, although a bow doesn't match. That's criminal, isn't it? And she could do with some socks. I haven't made her any socks yet, but they're on my to-do list. So here is Polly. and here is her in a new dress. And I really, really enjoyed making this dress. I especially enjoy making dresses, I think, because I've got 3 boys and I'm in a very male house. So coming in here is a bit of an escapism. I can go all out girly, making dresses for myself and Polly. And yeah, so Polly's got this lovely new dress with the nice fancy sleeves. And I made her some pants. I thought she's got to have some pants. So I had to draw up a pattern myself. And I made these pants. I don't know if this is wrong, is it? Showing your pants. Yeah, right. Some pants, and they're out of an old t-shirt. My youngest son, he had a favourite t-shirt, and it had a big hole in it in the end, and I just didn't have the heart to throw it away, so I held on to it in my craft room. So when I needed something for her pants, I just thought, what the hell, I'm going to use that. So actually, that fabric's quite sentimental. So that's one of the things that I made for her. And alright, I've got a little suitcase where I keep her clothes that I've made, so I can keep them all together. And I made her. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen it, I made myself a couple of Agnes tops from Tilly and the Buttons, and I had this lovely deer fabric, and I had some left over that I couldn't really do much with, so I made a onesie for Polly, and she looks adorable in it, she does. So there's that. So those are the only 2 new things I've made for Polly, but her original outfit was these little leggings and this little top, and you put that over the top, the dress. So that's the back with the little buttons, and that does look a really adorable outfit on her. But she hasn't worn that for a bit. She's been in a party dress, and a while ago I made her a little rain cape with a hood on, with matching wellies, little Wellington boots. So I don't think it's definitely not going to be the end of Polly's wardrobe. I just can't help it. In fact, I'd love to make a little bit of bedding for her and maybe her own stocking. Sad, isn't it? I know, but the little girl in me is still there. You know, like boys and their toys. The little girl's still there in me. And what else? I don't like. I have made other things, but I can't remember everything. I've made. Do you want to come out, darling? I haven't mentioned Rafe. I've brought Rafe in with me today, haven't I, darling? I'll give him a little treat. Well, yeah, I have made other things. Like I've made a crochet poppy for a friend, and she'd sold her car, and she'd left it in the glove box, and she was ever so devastated. And I sort of felt like saying, I'll make one, but I thought I didn't want to promise anything if I didn't have the time. And basically the morning before I thought I was going to see her again, I made her a crochet poppy, but it turns out she was in Manchester. But I delivered it to her house, said I got a little something for you, delivered it to her house, and she got it that night, and she's like really delighted. And I was a bit worried. I thought, oh, is it as nice as the one she had? She liked it more, so I was like, yay! So I was a bit chuffed about that. And I'm thinking, what else? I went to Cotton Patch. The local quilting shop to me is the Cotton Patch, and I went there and I got this fabric. I don't know how good it's going to look on camera, but it's actually, see the gold on it? I think you can see that a little bit. That's what I've used on the back of the calendar, and on the binding, and on the tabs, and that's still available there. And that's Chihuahua UK fabric. What else am I doing? Oh, my next make, well, it will be my next make as long as I've got everything I need for it, is going to be a dog bed. Now, this is one of the reasons I've got Rafe in with me and not Holly, because I can't really have both of them together. Not if I can't put them both in there, and I can't always hold a dog if I'm showing you things. But I don't know if Holly's going to fit in this bed I'm going to make. So I think it's going to fit Rafe. And it's basically out of a magazine, and that's not really a great idea of what it looks like. It's got a bit that goes over the top that fits quite snugly. You're looking at yourself, aren't you? But what I'm going to do, I'm going to make the flap bigger so it kind of stands up in a bit of a dome. That's the idea. Whether it works out, I don't know. And so he really feels the cold. So the idea is it sticks up a bit so he can climb inside it. And I've bought some fur fabric. You're meant to use fleece, it says, but it looks like fur to me. But I'm going to use fur, and I've bought this lovely tartan fabric for the outer. So hopefully you'll have that to see soon. And I suppose between now and Christmas, it's going to be all Christmas makes. It's going to be just of anything that I want to make that isn't Christmas. I suppose I've got to think, oh, well, I leave that now. Just anything Christmas I want to do, just get doing Christmas. And then maybe once Christmas has gone, maybe start doing other things. And yes, that's the only dog make I've got planned at the moment. But I have done a little bit of shopping. In the sale, I've bought this for Holly. It's a calf kids and a harness, and it's apparently it's breathable, and it's just feels gorgeous, and it's adorable. It's got this little label inside, so it's like a child. This coat belongs to, and you put the dog's name, and if found, please call. I thought that is just so cute. And I would have got one. Look at the dog on the back, little Chihuahua. I would have bought one for Rafe, but that was the smallest size. You know, my problem with how tiny Rafe is, they don't do one small enough. But I have bought something a little for him that's small. I haven't tried it on him yet, so I don't know if it fits, but I think it will. But it's not as cosy and quite as cute as that, but I still think it's cute. And it's a lovely kind of tweed look, and it's got like a breathable bit inside, and it's got a little bit. The bow, now this bugs me a little bit because I'm a sewer, but that bow is not in the centre. Now the sewer in me feels like taking that off and putting it back on again, but I don't know. I'll see what it looks like when I put it on him and see how I feel about it. And that is that. And I think that's all I want to chat to you about today. So I'm sorry it's been so long, and I'm sorry, I suppose I haven't got much to tell you exactly what I'm going to make, but it's just, this is what I've made at the moment. Oh, actually, there was something else. Is there something else? Oh, yeah. I want to tell you something about the Polly's dress. When I made that, it's a bit of a funny story. I made the bodice, and I was all really pleased, got the bodice finished, went and cut out the skirt and did the skirt prep, and when I went to sew the skirt onto the bodice, I could not find the bodice. But what a funny thing is, there was something I wasn't happy. I don't know if this was meant to be. I wasn't happy about the bodice. When I'd finished making it, this is the bodice, the first one I made. Look at the dog in the centre at the front. The dog is upside down. Now, it's not that I've put the whole fabric upside down. The dogs, some are upside down and some aren't. But it just happened to be the one right in the centre was. And that was really going to bug me. So I was going to make some like big fancy thing for the front. And then what happened is, when I went to put the bodice on the skirt, I could not find it, and this was a while ago. If you'll see when I've posted Polly's dress, that's when I made it, but I've only just found it now. It was in my ribbon box. I must have tidied up my ribbons and put it in there, but I'm kind of pleased that I didn't find it, and I had to make the bodice again, because now I don't have to worry about covering up some pattern. So if you look at her dress now, I made sure there was a dog the right way round in the middle. So I know it's only a doll's dress, but that might have really aggravated me. So that's where I am at the minute, and I hope to bring you some more things soon. I tend to craft a lot more in the autumn than I do in the summer, because you know, a lot of things have been going on. I did go away to a few places in the summer, and that slowed down my crafting, but actually I haven't actually got any travel plans at all next year. You know, maybe that will change, I don't know, but we want to like sort of concentrate on a few other things, so I might make a lot more next year than I did this year. So thanks for watching. I don't, I'm just thinking of and one more thing. I don't know if you know that I've been learning to play the ukulele for a couple of years, and I've been learning to play War Is Over, so I've got to practice that. I'm meant to be in a show, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it, because it's at the Cavern Club in Liverpool, and with children and things, I don't know if I can get there. And I am going to be in an ice show. Sleeping Beauty? Yeah, Sleeping Beauty this year, and I don't know if you know, but if you watch one of my other videos, I made a figure skating dress, and I don't know if I've told you this. I went in a competition that my coach asked me to go in, and I was just delighted to be asked, because I've only been skating, figure skating, a few years. I've skated, you know, for fun of the years when I was younger, but you know, figure skating, you know, like going and having a lesson and things for a few years, and so I was delighted to be asked. I didn't think I'd get placed, so but I was just excited to wear my dress, that I'd made, wore my dress, and I actually won. So I came home with a trophy and everything. So I don't know if you know this or not, because the last time I recorded was in Easter. So Easter Day, so I don't know if I told you about that or not, but sorry if I have, but that obviously has been really an exciting thing for me. But yeah, so there we are. I'm gonna go, and this is a lot shorter than my last one, so I'm not going to take too much of your time. So thanks for watching, and I'll hopefully have another video when I've made a few things. And oh, and I've lost my tripod, that's why the angle of the camera's a bit different, and my remote control to stop the recording isn't working either, so I've got to like reach in and press the button, so excuse that. So see you next time, bye.